Welcome to a new episode of Triggre Weekend Masterclass. And in this masterclass, I'm going to explain to you how you can execute a repeat action a specific amount of times. So normally when you execute a repeat action, it dynamically determines how many times it needs to execute it, namely the number of records in your lookup. But sometimes you specifically want to execute it 3 times, 5 times, or 8 times. How do you do that? Well, first of all, I'm going to show you how it works in the application. And after that, I'm going to show you how it works in the designer. So let's go to the application. So in this case, I would like to multiply the suppliers that I have. So I've got 3 suppliers here. And for instance, supplier Triggre, I would like to multiply that supplier for 2 times. And when I click multiply, 2 suppliers will be added, Triggre 1 and Triggre 2. And as you can see now, I've got 5 suppliers. Triggre 1, Triggre 2 are there as well. But how did I do that? Well, first of all, it's important to add a list of numbers in your application. So if I would go to admin to numbers, you can see that I added a list with numbers from 1 to 10. You can imagine you can even create a list from 1 to 100, import them using Excel. There's a different video on that as well. Or look at our knowledge base. But you're going to need a list with numbers. So in the designer, I'm going to show you the flow part where we multiply the supplier and how it works. So we go to design, flow parts, and in this case, the flow part multiply. And key in this case is the list of numbers that I created in the application before. In this case, I only have 1 supplier, but I would like to multiply it 2 times. Normally, you would select a list of suppliers and do the repeat action on that. But in this case, I need 2 of them. So, how am I going to fetch 2 suppliers? Well, we can't. So we're going to fetch 2 numbers, which are lines as well. So instead of selecting the suppliers, we're going to select the number of lines in the data item numbers. So in this case, I'm going to do a lookup in the data item numbers with a filter where, well, in this case, number, because that's the number of times that I would like to execute this, is smaller or equal to a number in the list of numbers. Because when I have 2 numbers, I only select number 1 and number 2. And then I have a list of 2 items, and I can execute the repeat action on those 2 items. And then the repeat action will be done 2 times. So in this case, I create a new name for the supplier and I add the supplier to the system. Did you enjoy this video? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next week.